Woo! Hey man, y'all just can't have a break. Boy, the Matt Ryan haters just having an absolute. Hey man, look. Woo! Hey man, look. Yo, what's up? Hey, the nation. Jeremy, what's good? John, what's good? Atlanta Nation. Raymond Elder. Devon, what's good, man? Oh, hell no. Am I okay? What the hell kind of question is that? You asking is Mad Mike okay? I'm mad freaking Mike. I'm the mad freaking scientist. Are you freaking kidding me? You're asking me, am I okay? Really? That's what we doing? You asking me, am I okay? I don't get it. I just don't get it. I just don't get it like these Ryan haters. I just don't get it. Hey man, what's good? The Golden Rooster. Hey man, look. This is these eyes right here. These eyes right here. Yeah. That's all genes, man. You should see everybody else in my family. All right. I just was blessed with big ass eyes. All right. But hey man, I'ma just say this. When are you guys gonna get enough? Can't y'all just be happy for a G? Can y'all just be happy for a G? Why do I have this picture? Okay. I'm gonna put this picture up one more again. All right, one more again. Hold on 1 second. Why do I have this picture up? Why does Mad Mike have this picture up? I wonder. Well, in case you guys did not know, Lee Smith has come out again. Okay, we're talking about another Falcons, not just Falcons player. We're just talking about a player, another player who hasn't played with this guy ever. Okay, this man has never played with Matt Ryan, and you tell me he has an interview with 92.9 The Game. You guys can go check that out at any time. All right, you guys go check that out, man. But hey, man, I'm gonna just say this: how many other people are gonna come out and just say this guy's a wonderful quarterback? This dude was literally about to retire. Okay, he decided to unretire. He was going to retire. Lee Smith is going to retire. Oh, here we go. Here go the Ryan haters, man. He should have went on ahead and retired. Look, man. This man brings people out of retirement. Okay, Tony Gonzalez was going to hang it up. You remember him? The Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez? Yeah, he was going to hang it up until he came back to Atlanta and played with Matt Ryan. Okay? He came to Atlanta and he decided he wanted to play not only 1 year, not 2 years, not 3 years. The dude played extra years just to be with Matt Ryan. He played extra years just to see with Matt Ryan. What are we talking about? He played an extra 2 or 3 years just to sit with Matt Ryan. I just want y'all to take a second to think about that for a second. Okay? Just think about that for a second. Why would Tony Gonzalez, one of, if not the greatest tight end in the history of the game, decides not to retire? Okay? He decides not to retire to play with a scrub. You're talking about he playing with a scrub. He decides against playing against retire just to play with Matt Ryan. And then we got Matt Ryan haters. Okay, let me just the Matt Ryan haters. All you guys always say it over and over and over again. Okay, why? Like Matt Ryan sucks. Matt Ryan sucks. Matt Ryan can't run. All right, look, I'm gonna show you guys that everything that you've ever said about this man has been wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna show everything that you've ever said about this guy has been wrong. You said he couldn't win a playoff game, okay? Chick, chick. He's done that. You said he couldn't win multiple playoff games. Chick, chick. You said he couldn't win MVP. Chick, chick. You said he couldn't get to the Super Bowl. Chick, chick. You said he wasn't a Hall of Famer. Soon to be. Chick, chick. You said he couldn't win in the fourth quarter. You said he wasn't clutch. Well, he just passed one of the greatest, if not the greatest, clutch quarterback in the history of the game. Who am I talking about? Joe Montana. Chick, chick. Every time you guys say this guy can't do anything, he proves you wrong. Every single time. Lee Smith on 92.9 the game, okay? 92.9 the game. Let me just get it. Let me get it for you. Okay. Now I want to get the all right. And this goes for Tori McElhaney. I don't know how I'm like we got her coming on the show tomorrow. So you guys can check her out. Miss Maggie will be doing her thing. That's another interview that we got going for you guys. Like I said, man, we're going to give you guys nothing but the truth and the facts. And it's not just going to come from me. It's going to come from people who are outside of Atlanta Falcons Nation. These people are, quote unquote, not Matt Ryan supporters. But these guys cover the game. This lady, she covers the game. She works for The Athletic. So Matt Ryan, okay, this is what Lee Smith said about Matt Ryan, okay? This is what he said about Matt Ryan. He said he came to Atlanta because of Matt Ryan and the two Arthurs, Arthur Smith and Arthur Blank. So not only did he come for Matt Ryan, he came because of Arthur Blank and Arthur Smith. He wants to play physical football. People believe in Arthur Blank. People believe in Arthur Smith. People believe in Matt Ryan. Okay? These guys are not far off. So all you people talking about we need to rebuild? Rebuild for what? What are we rebuilding for? Have you seen the weapons that we have on offense? Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley, Hayden Hurst. An offensive line, a talented offensive line. Jake Matthews, Chris Lisham, Caleb McGarry, now Mike Davis, who is a solid running back. Over 1,000 yards. We're talking about over 1,000 yards in total rushing yards and passing receiving. 59 catches on the season from a running back. Russell Gage. Okay? All of these weapons on. Defensive side of the ball. Grady Jarrett, Deion Jones, Foye Oluokun, AJ Terrell. We're talking about very good defensive players. And yeah, we're talking about rebuild. What are we rebuilding for? Cleveland been rebuilding for 20 years. The Jets ain't been rebuilding ever since they lost Rex Ryan. That's like 15 years ago. The Jets have been rebuilding ever since Rex Ryan left. And we talking about rebuilding. You need to keep good players as long as you possibly can. Look at Seattle right now. They can't keep players. Why can't they keep players? Russell Wilson want out because that defense sucks. Let's be real. That's the real reason why he wants out. He's tired of getting his ass smacked around and the defense playing like crap. Okay? He's tired of it. Russell Wilson wants out. He wants gone. He's the most hit and sack quarterback in the game right now. In the last 8 years, he's the most sacked and hit quarterback in the freaking league. And you people think drafting a mobile quarterback is going to help pass protection? Come on, people. Let's be real. Tom Brady can't move worth a goddamn. Tom Brady is slow as a 1-year-old infant. My little damn nephew can move faster than he can. And Tom Brady doesn't get hit. He doesn't get sacked. Why? You gotta have a scheme put together for these quarterbacks. You can't just throw them out and say, if the rush gets to you, run. Doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Gotta have a plan for it. And this is something that I like. This is something that I always say right now. This is really one of the dumbest statements I've ever heard. I like this is one of literally the dumbest statements that I have ever heard. Okay? These are one of the dumbest freaking statements that I've ever heard. We're talking about why. We're talking about why would people say this? That running quarterbacks are a thing of the future. We need to get with the times. Dude, have y'all ever heard of people like Sammy Baugh? Have you ever heard of Fran Tarkenton? Have you ever heard of Archie Manning? What about Steve Young? Have you ever heard of Steve Young? Have you ever had a Steve McNair? Have you ever heard of Ronald Cunningham? Probably not, because most of you guys don't read. Most of you guys don't read. Y'all will much rather watch ESPN highlights and go on YouTube and watch, highlights of Michael Vick and Deshaun Watson. That's what you like to do. I employ a lot of people to go out and actually look in the history books, okay? Look in the history books and see that mobile quarterbacks are not a thing of the future. It's actually, it goes back as far as 1920. This is nothing new. About here a lot of things because y'all already lose their mind. All right, let's see. Run the damn ball. Here we go. Run the damn ball. Okay, Floyd Dunley. People just got to deal with Matt Ryan, and then he ain't going nowhere. And the extension proves it. Well, the extension is more so a restructure than anything, but this is what we talk about. This is what we talked about yesterday. How many times I'm going to continue to talk about it? Yeah, that's what the restructure is all about. You're pushing money into the future. You're pushing money into the future. You're pushing money into the future. When he takes less this year, that means next year and the year after that and the year after that, he's going to get paid that money. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it pretty much proves that Matt Ryan is going to be here. I like, honestly, I hate to tell you guys that. No, I really actually love to tell you guys that. Does this mean that we won't take a quarterback at 4? More than likely we won't. We don't know what's going to happen for sure. But financially, what this proves is that it's damn near impossible for you to rebound from taking a quarterback at 4 and then try to keep Matt Ryan, whose contract is at $40 million. We already don't have money. So financially, it pretty much says that it's impossible. But we've seen teams do dumb stuff. We saw that Philadelphia do something incredibly ignorant and trading away Carson Wentz and occurring $39 million. That's an NFL record. $39 million in dead cap. So they got to deal with that for years to come. So that pretty much proves that it's almost unlikely for the Falcons to draft a quarterback at that position. The number 4 position. Hey man, hey look, hey man, look, this is just it. Hey man, look, hey man, they Matt Ryan haters. They gonna try to fight any and everybody just to try to get him out. So I may need a little bit of help. I may need a little bit of help. Come on, here we go. London Nation with his Roddy. Hey man, look, come on, man. Ain't nobody. If Roddy would have kept, if they wouldn't have forced Roddy out, he would have still been playing with Matt Ryan, at least for I think in maybe 3 more years. At least 3 more years. Hey man, I'm about to let's bring in the Twitch God. Let's bring in the Twitch God, man.
Oh,
here you go.
Snap.
Oh, the man in black. Oh, look at the man in black. The man in black.
Oh,
J-Rock,
snap.
the Twitch God himself. Man, what's up? What's up with these people? What's up, man? What's going on? Man,
I'm in the chat. I'm in the chat. I'm lurking. I'm seeing all the comments. I mean, you know, the hate is not going to go away anytime soon.
Yo,
it's not going to go away anytime soon. You know that. Somebody said, "Is that J. Cole?" Stop it.
I know what J. Cole look like. He don't look nothing like J. Cole, if you ask me, man.
Man, look, no, I got a homeboy. I got a homeboy that lives in Cali now. He's from Maryland. He actually looks like J. Cole, believe it or not. Like he is the J. Cole clone. I promise.
Yo,
what's
man,
up, y'all? What's up, y'all?
Hey man, what's good, J-Rock, man? Good God. Where are these? I don't see. Okay.
Hope y'all having a good Wednesday.
Got nothing. I don't see how y'all blame Matt Ryan. The O-line plays mediocre. We can't run the ball, so we have to throw it. That's something that we always start. Like, my thing is, it's like, look, man, is Matt Ryan perfect? Absolutely not. He made plenty of mistakes. We've seen that plenty of times. You go back to the Arizona game where he threw 5 interceptions in the game. Even last year, recently, like he played like absolute dog crap, against the Chargers. So it's like what do you mean? It's like I don't understand how he is the only one that we look for to be perfect. I he's the only one that we look for to be perfect, and that like I said, that's just something that I just don't get, man. What is your take on that, bro? Like,
As far as that comment go by King Shaq, um, I mean, we Matt Ryan hasn't really, honestly, had a good line since we had like Mud Duck and Baker and all that. That was like probably his best line. Ever since then, his line has been kind of mediocre, which I agree. But even with the mediocre line, you guys seen what he does with a somewhat decent average line. He still gets the job done. He still gives you 4,000 yards a season. Just imagine what he does when he gets like a line that Tom Brady had back when he was on the Patriots. Let him get a line something similar like that, where he doesn't really have to, take a lot of deep bombs. He can just do check downs and short passes, not short routes, but short passes. So I agree with that, but you guys can't bash him because with a bad line, with a mediocre line, with a good line, he's always been Matt Ryan. And I always praise about this all the time. I think we've done very well, and he has himself as far as keeping himself healthy because he doesn't get injured a lot. I praise about that all the time. There's a lot of quarterbacks that get injured a lot, and everybody's just giving up on him because he's injury prone or whatever. Matt Ryan, we've been taking good care of Matt Ryan as far as like his health goes because he doesn't he's very tough. What I realized too, because like I said, it was one game I think we was playing against like the Lions or something. This is when we had Chris Redmond. I know y'all remember this, but I think Chris Redmond came in for like one play. Matt Ryan came right back out of that locker room. That tells you all about Matt Ryan, like just him himself. He's tough. I think the only time that you actually really seen him like get injured was probably like last season when he was. What would he miss? Like what, a game or two or something like that?
A game with the ankle injury. I think
right.
I think the game of time when they fell on his ankle, he was out the previous year. And,
right. But that was the only time you actually really seen him down and out. Other than that, he came right back. Other games, just doing what he does best. Like I said, everybody doesn't really pay attention to stuff like that. They just go based off what they hear from the media and stuff like that about Matt Ryan. So they kind of jump on that coattail. But if you actually really pay attention to, Falcon football, he really doesn't get injured. Yeah, I would say he's considered underrated, unappreciated. I agree with some of those when people say that. It's just they don't really look into the whole thing. He plays pretty much all his games on his whole season. I forgot what the record was prior to last year, him like getting knocked out, like as far as so many games he started. I don't know what the streak was. Somebody might need to look that one up.
Like 200. I know it was close to two. It was close to an NFL record. I do remember that. I don't know the exact number, but I know it was 200 or something with consecutive games
now as we speak.
But one thing that I always say that I like, everybody know how I feel about LeBron James. One thing that I always say about LeBron James is that you can always count on him to be available. Like he's going to be healthy. And one thing about Matt Ryan is that you can count on him. This guy get hits. He get hit. I'm talking about hard. We're talking about how many times have Cam Jordan has gotten sacks on this man. We're talking about this dude. He's got sacked by one person more than I've ever seen any quarterback in their entire career. Cam Jordan lights his ass up, and this dude consistently gets up off the ground every freaking year. He's always near the top and getting sacked. He's always near the top getting hit. And this guy plays every single game. Tom Brady has missed games because of injuries. He missed a whole entire season. I think he missed a whole entire season. I'm not sure about the entire season, but I do know he missed games with a knee injury. He missed games with a knee injury. That's something that Matt Ryan has never done. You look at Drew Brees. Drew Brees have had multiple seasons where he's missed games because of injuries. Matt Ryan hasn't. Joe Flacco, a guy that they compared him to before, he's missed games every time. Russell Wilson, he missed a few games with a knee injury himself. So we got all these guys. Deshaun Watson is another guy, torn ACL. He missed the entire year with the torn ACL. Just so many. Like to see how he continues to get hit over and over and over again with the inconsistent offensive line. And the running game has been absolute crap ever since 2013, 14, where we kind of released Michael Turner. It's about that's the last time that running game was been relevant. The running game, well, I take that back. That go back to 16 when we had Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman. That was pretty much the last time we've had a running game with those guys. And this guy does it over and over again with limited resources on the offense and defense.
Still gives it his all. Just like you said, comparing to these other quarterbacks, nobody's really paying attention. If Matt Ryan was consistently getting injured as many times as he gets sacked all the time, then you guys may have the right to say, "Oh, we may need another quarterback because Matt Ryan is so fragile." Then that would be like the discussion, but that's not the case. What is the real issue? What, the Super Bowl hiccup? What and what else? Numbers do the talking. Y'all can look at his stats. I'm just keeping it real because if he was injured 9 times out of 10, like I'm gonna throw out Mahomes. Mahomes is injured most of the time, but you see him going out there. You see him going out there slinging the ball left and right.
Went there.
Yep, and I did go there. There's no. Let's be real here. There's nobody in the NFL that's 100% all the time. But Mahomes, yeah, he takes licks, and y'all seen what he did. He was running his goddamn, like his mind was going crazy in that Super Bowl. Yeah, he was playing injured with like a broken something. You know what I'm saying? And then people were saying, "Oh, Mahomes is fine." Da 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 da. No, something's wrong with him. Y'all be quick to get rid of somebody once they start getting injured when they're injury prone. For example, Cam Newton. That's another one. Bad shoulder. And look what happened in Carolina. They got rid of him.
Yep. And this man is healthy. This man healthy. Like this guy is absolutely healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Same thing with Breeze. Look what happened to Breeze. Got injured this season. Got injured last season. I can keep going on and on. There's a bunch of quarterbacks that got injured.
Every quarterback.
But nobody ain't talking about them. They want to focus on Matt Ryan.
Jimmy freaking G. This dude has been injured ever since he got in the dang league.
Nobody's saying nothing about him. Oh, but he played in the Super Bowl, so that doesn't matter. Oh, but he still lost though. But I can go on and on and on with quarterbacks. On and on and on. Joe Flacco, good example. Look where Lamar Jackson is right now. He's in his spot right now. And you see Joe Flacco hasn't been the same. He's on team to team to team.
Yeah. Like I said before, man, my thing is that like there's so many. Let's just dissect the Tampa Bay Bucks last season. And you compare that season to a lot previous season with, as far as Tom Brady is concerned. Like one of the things that a lot of people like, what really kind of irritated me most with this team, well, not so much the team, but a lot of the people, is that nobody gave mention to what the defense did. We're talking about the defense that has been ranked. This defense has been ranked number at least top 5 for the last 2 to 3 years. One of the best defenses in the league. And guess who always seems to get all the credit for it? This team has, before Tom Brady got there, this team has been ranked top at least 3 out of the last 4 years. We're talking about ranked top 5, top 10. 3 out of the last 4 or 5 years or so. And nobody gives them credit. Nobody talks about Ndamukong Suh. Nobody talks about Shaq Barrett. Nobody talks about their front seven. Those linebackers, White, like who? Nobody talks about them. They carried Tom Brady the entire season. This man had to recruit everybody and their mama, their cousin, sister, brother, everybody to come play on the offense. To come play with him. Gronkowski.
AB.
They had to convince Godwin to take a lesser role with the team.
And then I heard he's trying to get James White down there. He's trying to change it to the New England Bucks down there.
That's crazy. He gets all the credit. He gets all the credit for what everybody else is doing. But when you have a guy like Matt Ryan, we're talking about a guy like Matt freaking Ryan constantly over and over and over again. Go ahead. He got some. Why you looking like that, Jay?
Should I entertain this? I'm gonna let the chat decide. Should I entertain this? Should I entertain this?
Oh my goodness.
I don't think I should. Go ahead. Carry on.
People just say some of the dumbest stuff just because they want to get a rise out of people. You like I said, man, some people just like if you're gonna hate somebody, like come with a better like this is just Stretch Armstrong reaching. You clearly looking for a reaction from a reaction.
Check this out here. I did count up the games that Matt Ryan has played prior to getting injured last year. He played 144 games, started 144.
144 games. What, that's 10 years, 11 years, 10 years or so? That's good God. 144, 16. Yes, that's 8 to 10 years straight. 8 to 10 years straight. Are absolutely healthy. Been relatively healthy. Even if he isn't healthy, he still plays the game. And that's the thing. You said it before. Every quarterback, every player in the league, these guys play injured, but these guys are injured, but they still play through it. Matt Ryan does not miss games. Even if he's injured, his shoulder, his hip, knee, whatever it is, he still finds a way to play the game.
Yeah, everybody, because I know everybody panic when he gets sacked, and then he gets up all slow. Matt Ryan he's a really big guy. People don't really believe that, but he's actually really big. He's not like built frame like Cam Newton, especially with the pads on, but like he's pretty. What is he like? He's 6'4", 6'5". He's pretty big.
Yeah, that dude, that's a big guy. He can take that punishment. You know what I'm saying? But over time,
it will take its toll. Yeah.
I'll just say this, man. Look, I'll just say this about this comment. Ryan is not a Hall of Fame unless he wins the Super Bowl. That's literally like, come on, man. Like, y'all got to do better. Like, y'all got to do better than this.
This comment.
He's a tall guy with a long. Wow. Wait, he can see all the hits coming? I guess, man. Nah, but y'all got to do better with these. Like, if y'all go hate on him, man, come with something better than he's a Hall of Famer. He's not a Hall of Famer until he win a Super Bowl. Like, guys that have won Super Bowl and they like
or that hasn't won anything that are Hall of Famers. Like,
like come on, bro. Like that's the best.
Stats do the talking. Look, Matt Ryan is not paying attention to none of this stuff. He's letting the stats do the talking. Y'all look at his stuff. Y'all look at his accolades and stuff like that. Enough said. He's letting the stuff do the talking, letting the stats do the talking, the numbers do the talking, everything. He's just going out there and playing.
And this comment here, you have Greg Jennings on national TV calling him elite. How are you going to argue against the Packers wide receiver who's played with another elite quarterback? So they're like, these guys are qualified to speak on these guys. How many times are we going to see this clip with Tony Gonzalez where he's like, this guy, he's in his 5th or 6th year? And that's probably a stretch. I think about 4th or 5th year when Tony Gonzalez got here. When he was really, it may have been his 3rd or 4th year. He was really young when Tony Gonzalez got here. You see him on the sideline. He's on the sideline, and Tony Gonzalez, he's like, Tony, what do you like to do? Tony couldn't make up his damn mind. Tony could not make up his freaking mind. And Matt Ryan said, look, this is what you do. Don't fuck around. Go out. That's it. He's talking to a Hall of Famer like this. He's telling a Hall of Famer what he needs to be doing. And you tell me this guy isn't a leader? You telling me this guy isn't a Hall of Famer, that he doesn't have the passion? Why? Because he's not prancing around and dancing and like, that's what you want to do? Like, that's the reason why y'all say he don't have attitude, that he's not tough? He's not crying to the damn commissioner like Tom Brady? He's not crying and trying to be the damn referee's best friend? Everybody knows he's fucking doing this, crying to the refs on live TV. These damn refs. And this is another thing that pisses me off. The refs on national freaking TV with Tom Brady smiling and giggling like little damn schoolgirls. That NFC Championship was an absolute travesty. That NFC Championship game, that right there was an absolute disgrace.
Yeah.
Do I have to remind you guys what happened? How many damn calls? Like, I literally screamed to myself. I'm in a chat with my boys. I'm in the chat with my homeboys in the Discord with my boys, and we're screaming like this dude literally I'm trying to gather my words right now. Like that NFC Championship game, it was like they were trying to will this guy to a championship. The calls were just absolutely disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. And this guy is worshipped like an absolute god. He's doing disgraceful. Matt Ryan doesn't cry. He doesn't get on in the press conference and say, guess what? It was Julio's fault. It was the ref's fault. It was Dan Quinn's fault for not doing that. He takes the blame for himself. But you got damn Tom Brady crying every chance somebody fall at his damn knees. He's pointing at the refs. He's screaming at the refs. Come on. I don't get it. Why the hate? I don't get why the hate.
Speed said if Matt Ryan didn't play for the Falcons, he won't be getting this much hate. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, because like even when he's done great things, the national media, even before, it's like if you go back to his college days, he didn't get a lot of publicity because he just wasn't a guy that was flashy.
Yeah.
He didn't get a lot of respect coming out of college, like a Zach Wilson right now, Justin Fields. Like he didn't get that. He was far superior quarterbacks than these guys in his day, and he still didn't get the love. They didn't want to take him. Miami did not want to take him because he wasn't flashy. They picked a goddamn O-lineman over a quarterback, and they have been looking for Dan Marino ever since Dan Marino time, and they did not want to take Matt Ryan because he wasn't flashy. He didn't have a big arm. They passed over him. The national media just hate. This man isn't flashy. He doesn't talk crap. He just gets the damn job done. The national media just does not like him. So I can't say that this is just because of Atlanta stuff. This goes far beyond Atlanta. This man has never had, and like you go back and look at, does anybody remember anybody from that damn Boston College team? Let's be real. Does anybody know? I can tell you one fucking player from that Boston College all 4 years, all 3-4 years that man played there. I couldn't tell you one motherfucker from that team. I promise, like I'm being so sincere. I couldn't tell you one person from that team. And somehow this guy will break, like he I don't know how the hell he won. What? Those guys won 6-7 games. I don't even know how they did that.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So it's like
it's crazy.
I'm seeing people with picks. I'm glad you're on here because this is something that I wanted to talk about. This is something that I really want to get your opinion on. A lot of people were saying, and the Falcons have let it be known, in particular, Terry Fontenot. Like Terry Fontenot said, we're going to get the guy, the best available player. And I don't think there's any question whether or not Kyle Pitts is the most. When you look at his potential, he could he is that guy. He is that guy in this draft. I think he's better. He's a better prospect, overall prospect than Trevor Lawrence. I would actually take him over Trevor Lawrence. That's just my opinion. What do you think about Kyle Pitts and him possibly being taken by the Falcons, man? Would you be upset with that?
No, I wouldn't be upset. Only reasons because when was the last time we had like a really crazy, dominant tight end? Mm-hmm. We were just talking about him not too long ago, Tony Gonzalez. That was the last like dominant tight end that we had. Mm-hmm. And if you guys seen it, I don't know if you guys haven't or have, but the man ran a 4.46, I believe, yesterday or the other day. I think anybody that's close to that, you know who he really reminds me of? You guys can agree or disagree. But he reminds me of young Vernon Davis when he first came out.
You know what? That is an excellent. You know what? That is absolutely right. You absolutely correct right there.
That's he really reminds me of.
Yep. I think Vernon Davis ran like a 4.4, 4.5 himself. Like that dude was.
It's pretty close, I believe. But I wouldn't be mad at it only because at that point, like Kyle Pitts is probably one of the best available players at that time, and at his age and his height, 6'6", is pretty amazing. And the guy can block. I mean, he can do it all. And then we can do some crazy stuff. Who knows? Like the way, the way that Arthur Smith used Jonnu Smith and, Delaney Walker when he was around, I feel like it would work. Especially you do a little mix of Hurst in the middle. It can be really crazy. Like we can do some crazy stuff. Like just think about this. Like, as much people always, they've been trashing Julio Jones lately, saying, "Oh, he's injury prone." Da 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 da. I mean, we can throw him in situations when Julio's not in the field. He's considered a threat because he's 6'6". So, like, I can see some crazy creative stuff happen. I wouldn't be mad at the pick at all. I honestly wouldn't. But he's close to a Vernon Davis comparison. He's very close because of his speed.
But and the thing, and I'm seeing a lot of people, Daniel Conner and a lot of people are saying that like we don't need a tight end. But the thing about him is that he's not necessarily a tight end. This guy is a Megatron. If I would put him, he's a Megatron. That's what he is. He's a bigger Megatron. And Megatron, if he would have played and pick up a couple of pounds here and there. Like that's the thing. That's the thing too. Calvin Johnson was a huge guy. He was just not a receiver. Like everybody thinks he was just a small receiver. This dude was what 6'4", 6'5", 240, 250.
Yeah, I'll see what the hell he was doing. You throw the ball, basically, Matt Stafford's like, here, just take this. He'll catch it over three guys every time. It was embarrassing.
You put him with Julio. You put that guy with Julio, man. You put Kyle Pitts with Julio and Calvin Ridley. I don't know what you can do defensively to stop that.
It's a pick your poison. It's literally a pick your poison.
And you got a running back like Mike Davis, who is an absolute physical specimen. Like he's a physical. Like that dude was like the Falcons linebackers couldn't do anything with that dude. But we got some pretty good linebackers, and then like Keanu Neal, those guys were having a hard time with Mike Davis. That dude is an absolute beast. He's a stud.
Yeah.
So you you put Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, Hayden Hurst, and that offensive
some mismatch problems.
That is scary, and this is something that Matt Carroll said yesterday. Like that's a oh my God, that's scary.
We're gonna be if we end up going with that. Even though I do agree with Daniel Conner, we don't need a tight end, but that's the best available. Like think about this,
Right.
like that's a whole nother freakish receiver in a way. Like you damn near can call him a receiver. It's almost like how it was when we had Roddy White, a young Julio Jones, Tony Gonzalez, Michael Turner. Like, come on now. So pick your poison. Oh, snap.
Hey, the man of the hour.
What's up?
Hey, man, look. Y'all go ahead and show that man some love, man.
You already know who it is.
Sports.
What's up, y'all? I had to chop it up with y'all real quick.
Yeah, man. Hey, but yeah, we talking about Kyle Pitts. But how do you feel about that? Like, my Mike thinks that comparison, what I said, he's like a Vernon Davis. What do you think about it?
Oh man, Kyle Pitts. I made a whole video. That dude a freak, man. Kyle Pitts is like a wide receiver. Like if you watch his tape, he's not even on the offensive line. Like he's not lined up inside for real at all. Only in the slot. He doesn't like he's not a block. He's your pure like Travis Kelce 2.0, just a lot more athletic. Because if you watch Travis Kelce play, they don't use him on the offensive line a lot either. Like on the end blocking, they'll put him out just to create matchup problems. So basically, if you watch Travis Kelce, he's dang near a wide receiver. I think at one point last season, he was like in the top 3 in receiving yards, and that was compared with the wide receivers in the game. So that's what Kyle Pitts would be for us. Like if we get him, you might as well say we got 2 Julios out there because he pretty much can do everything Julio can do. He's just bigger than Julio. So it's like we would have so many, like he would create so many matchup problems. It would be crazy. Like him, Hayden Hurst, because Hayden Hurst is a freak himself. So Arthur Smith with those guys, man, we call Mike the mad scientist. Arthur Smith would be the real mad scientist with those two tight ends. I mean, I think we arguably would have the most athletic tight ends, hands down in the league. If we had those pairing, Kyle Pitts and Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst, like I don't think a lot of people realize how good Hayden Hurst is because last year we didn't use him. But he showed us in a handful of plays. The play he made early in the season, I think it was against Seattle, when Matt Ryan threw him the ball up the seam and he dove out and caught the ball. Like Hurst is a problem. And that dude was playing Major League Baseball. That's how good of an athlete that dude is. So a guy that can go
wide
playing,
open a lot.
Yeah. We just did. I mean, we didn't use him. We just didn't use them. But like I seen somebody in the chat when I was in the chat earlier saying we will put up 40 points. Oh, there he is.
Oh, snap.
We got the crew together, man.
Oh, snap.
What's going on, man?
What's good, everybody? Hey, what was that? You saw the chat? Everybody in the chat, what does that do?
Now I seen in the chat somebody was saying we'll be putting up like 40 points a game. Like I agree, like we would be unstoppable. Like you would know how explosive we would be with those guys, Ridley, Julio, Kyle Pitts, Hayden Hurst. Like, who you gonna cover? You can't bracket and double team everybody. So somebody's gonna get abused. You can't double team everybody. Like, you know they're gonna double team Julio. So who gonna try to double? Like, we know Calvin really one-on-one is deadly. And then you got Hayden Hurst, and then Kyle Pitts with his size, he would be deadly as well, running up the seams. Like we seen what Tony Gonzalez did with Matt Ryan. Y'all were talking about it earlier in the show, but at that point, Tony Gonzalez never had that speed. He was just a guy that was really big, a high point the ball, kind of like a Jason Witten. He knew how to use his body because he played basketball. But other than like being fast and being quick, like you dang near can say Kyle Pitts is a receiver. Like it wouldn't surprise me if he caught up over 1,000 yards in the season because that's how he's built. And I think J-Rock said it best. I heard him say Vernon Davis. I forgot about Vernon Davis because he was one of those guys.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah, in San Francisco, man, he was a dog. He was uncoverable. He was uncoverable. So, and we should know firsthand in 2012, he killed us with Kaepernick. Vernon Davis abused our linebackers. Steven Nicholas, Sean Weatherspoon, those guys, Curtis Law, they got abused. We got abused with Vernon Davis.
Mike Peterson, all of them.
Yeah, he was a matchup nightmare. So Kyle Pitts, that would be a problem. That offense would be deadly. If we can get Kyle Pitts, man, we thought Jimmy Graham gave us problems when he was with the Saints all of those years. That would just be payback for the Saints. If we had two tight ends that was deadly like that, and we already know that their linebackers can't cover, man.
It'll be too much. It'll be way too much. Like just think about it. And then especially when it comes to like the running game too. Like if we run like 3 tight end sets and all that, and you got Lee Smith in the mix with that too. Good night. Good freaking night. Because it can be some crazy stuff happening. Like shoot, like hell, we can just run 3 tight ends and then have Lee Smith block, and then like Hayden Hurst and like Pitts go, and then one receiver go. It's so much that we can do. It'd be like sticking your hands in a big old cookie jar.
Can't like keep my hands out the cookie jar.
Oh my god.
Hey, what you got, K-Styles, man? What you got on?
Man, like I said, I'm just tuning in. Like I said, I had to deal with that 285 traffic, man. I'm just.
Oh boy.
So fill me in on what we going. Where you going with this?
Well, it's essentially that we'll start with this. Of course, if you haven't heard, Lee Smith essentially came out and pretty much stated like the only reason why he really came to the Atlanta Falcons was because of Matt Ryan. He was essentially going to retire, but being traded to the Atlanta Falcons, he was like, okay, this guy's the real deal. Matt Ryan has won MVP. He's gotten the team to a Super Bowl, and that right there in itself is one of the major reasons why he and a lot of players want to play for the Atlanta Falcons, especially a lot of offensive guys. Why is it? This is the question I have for you and you. Why do you think that a lot of players want to play for a guy like Matt Ryan? I know it's obvious, but in your opinion, what are the major reasons why guys want to play for a guy like Matt Ryan? Play with a guy like Matt Ryan.
All right. So before I say this, that comment by Lee Smith has automatically made him public enemy number 1. Already.
Oh, you know it.
They hate his guts already just for saying that. But my take is on it. Like I said, I just got off work, so I ain't got no notes here, so I got to go off the top of the phone. So,
right off the door,
well, you have to look as far as how Matt Ryan operates with the receivers and tight ends and stuff, especially when they know Matt Ryan is very friendly with tight ends as far as where he likes to go with the ball. We talk about him and Julio and the numbers they put up, but the type of quarterback Matt Ryan is, it's friendly towards the tight ends as well, which means he will throw to the open man when need to. It's not so much as, okay, I'm going to just rely on Julio. There's some throws that he'll make sometimes where he has to force it.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to look at the aspect of, well, nobody's open. So if nobody's open, I got to throw to my best guy. And plus, he's a team guy. He's like, okay, let's get this camaraderie together. Lee Smith, I know you're not gonna catch as many passes, but
right.
I know that just wait for your number to be called. I will throw you the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, he's a good locker room guy, and it's not. And like I said, even though, and I said this before, even though Julio was out for about 4 or 5 games, like I said, Matt Ryan still puts up his numbers, regardless on who's out there. But like I said, Matt Ryan is one of the top tier quarterbacks in this league. He's not at he'd be considered the super elite quarterbacks where most people put like the Tom Brady's and the Aaron Rodgers and the Drew Brees before he retired. But he's in that second tier, which is like
he's top 10. He's top 10. I don't care what nobody says.
There's a difference. I don't think there's a difference between elite. Like everybody's like to put second tier, third tier. It's like if you're a great quarterback, you're a great quarterback. It's like a lot of these guys have different assets. Like for example, like you look at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has a great play caller in LaFleur, and he has a great running back in AJ Jones. We don't have that. Tom Brady has a great defense and a legendary offensive coordinator. We talk about offensive coordinator Bruce Arians. This dude is legendary. We go back and look at his Arizona days. You go look at his Colt days where he's the quarterback coach for Peyton Manning. Like these guys have different assets. So I don't think there's a difference between elite. I think people make it different tiers because that's how they want to. Because like I said, you got even Tom Brady. Nobody says anything about that damn defense that he's always had and with the Patriots and now with the Bucks. You look at Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning never had no damn defense until he got with Tony Dungy. So there's different. I think people make it different tiers because that's how they want to separate their quarterbacks. There's no difference. Like you even look at Drew Brees, and I'm about to give him some love. I'm about to give Drew Brees some love. Drew Brees ain't never had no goddamn defense. He never really had a defense with the Saints. He had to carry that shit himself. He had to carry that organization his damn self. So I don't think there's a difference between elite. Your ass, when you do two things, when you do one thing consistently, after that 4th year of passing 4,000 yards in a row, you're elite in my opinion. That 4th year, 4 years, passing 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns or more, you're elite, bro. I think there's a lot of people just like to separate quarterbacks. You're a great quarterback. Tom Brady's a damn legendary quarterback. Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers. These guys are elite quarterbacks, but they just don't have what the other quarterbacks have. So, my bad.
But yeah, you actually hit on where I was about to go with it. But I was trying to get the public perception of it. But like I said, you pretty much said what I was gonna go with it. Because let's remember, Tom Brady done had a top 10 defense 16 out of his 21 years.
Hey, that's that stat. We told you about them stats and them facts, baby.
Like I said, you gotta have like in order to win in this league, and this is why I kind of feel like the public perception of him is kind of what makes him different from everybody else because the goalpost is moved further back when it comes to him. We talk about Peyton Manning and how great he is, but let's remember, you said Matt Ryan had Julio Jones. Peyton Manning had Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Adrian James, Dallas Clark. Phillip Rivers had.
He had Falk for a while. He had Marvin Falk for a while, didn't he?
It was coming to it was coming down to a point where he was going to look like he was going to be the worst playoff quarterback in NFL history. because they was winning their division every year, but he was getting knocked out the first round most of the time. Oh, yeah, I know y'all hear that. That's baby girl. She looking like daddy on the computer.
Showstopper. Hey, you guys go ahead and if you're on Atlanta Falcons Nation right now, help us get to 1,000 by subscribing. And after the show, man, if you guys don't mind, hit up the Atlanta Falcons Nation again and hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000. We're trying to be like Jew. We're trying to be great like Jew, man. Jew is already at 1,000, man. He got monetized, and congratulations, Jew. But Jew, what do you think about that? If you're not finished, K Styles.
Oh, no. I'm good. Like I said, you just hit basically what my second point was going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Juju on that break. Yeah.
Right. So before I talk about Matt Ryan, because his original question was, why does people want to play with Matt Ryan? I want to address what he was talking about Tom Brady. And we talk about it all the time. The word that Mike always says is balance. That's what we say here at Atlanta Falcons Nation. You have to have balance. That's the biggest problem with our Atlanta Falcons. We went heavy on offense, and all those guys that we're talking about that didn't win a lot of championships, like Drew Brees, he should have had way more than one championship. He should have played in more than one Super Bowl. But because he was on the Saints and all they pretty much had was an offense, he dealt with the same thing that Matt Ryan's dealing with, the same thing that a guy like Phillip Rivers dealt with. A lot of these guys are great, but I think that's the biggest problem with the generation that we have now. And this is the biggest problem with ESPN and like the media. We get mad at these players for one, like in the NBA, because they're all now joining up together. But the reason that these star athletes are starting to join together, like KD, Kyrie, all these guys want to play together, is because a lot of the guys that played against Jordan, they don't get the credit that they deserve. Like the Pat Ewins, those guys that were going neck and neck with Jordan because they were like, they have no championships. If you watch TNT, all they talk about when they talk about Charles Barkley, Shaq always be like, you don't have no championships, be quiet. But Charles Barkley was the 50th greatest player. He was one of the best players at his position. He played against Jordan in the finals with the Phoenix Suns. He just went up against a better team. Charles Barkley, arguably, he was better than Scottie Pippen as a player. He's right there neck and neck with Scottie Pippen, right there with those guys. But Jordan, Scottie, those guys against him, Jordan just had a better team. And that's what we fail to realize. We want to look at everything on the surface level, and we don't want to go in depth. It was a couple months back where Mike did another rant. He basically talked about why do players win? Like we always say, Matt Ryan did go to the Super Bowl, but he didn't win. Well, we got to look at the reasons of why he didn't win. Did Matt Ryan go to the Super Bowl and throw 4 interceptions and play terrible? Or did the defense, he get a big lead and the defense couldn't hold up? You know, we put everything on Matt Ryan's shoulders. And I feel like he made a good point earlier that nobody's talking about. Russell Wilson is another quarterback. Everybody was talking about Russell Wilson's going to be the next greatest thing. Let Russ cook. Well, since they broke up the Legion of Boom, they haven't been back to a Super Bowl. Ever since they broke up the Legion of Boom, Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, and that great defense, all they have left is Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright. But pretty much other than that, their defense has been trash. And that just goes to show you, it doesn't matter how good your quarterback is. Russ, in my book, and from my perspective, Russell Wilson is a top 5 quarterback in the league right now. But that means nothing. And that's our whole point about why we don't need to draft a quarterback. You can have the best quarterback in the league, but if you don't have a team around him, it means nothing. And that's the reason I made my video a couple months back talking about why I don't feel like Tom Brady's the GOAT. I just feel like Tom Brady is the most privileged quarterback. Like he was just in the perfect position. But I feel like if you turn the tables and you put Peyton Manning with a Bill Belichick, he arguably has way more rings than the Tom Brady because he had a more talented arm. He was smarter than Tom Brady, and he just didn't have the team around him. So that's why I don't look at Tom Brady as the GOAT. I just believe, yeah, he has the most trophies, and if you want to say he's the most accomplished quarterback, sure, he is the most accomplished. But to me, he's not the best. He's not the GOAT. And the reason I say he's not the GOAT is just because you just look at it. I do the eye test. I look at numbers, stats. When Peyton Manning was playing, he was the best quarterback in the league, hands down. Go ahead, K-Styles.
All right. Since you brought up Shaq, and he talked about Barkley with no rings. Let's remember that Lakers team was pretty stacked, so they couldn't double team Shaq.
Exactly.
So, like you said, Russell Wilson, when they put the ball in his hand, when they put the team around him, that team ain't made it to no NFC Championship game ever since the last Super Bowl loss. Oh my goodness! All right, man, y'all keep going. Hold on, I gotta go. Let me deal with this girl right quick.
Let me in. Let me.
I might let her in. Come on.
Come on, the show.
Come on.
Come on.
Look.
Come on, baby. There she go.
You gonna close the door?
And she done closed the door.
Yeah. You can have. Yeah, there you go. But like I said, man, you can't win. You can't win a championship without a complete team. That's the main thing. Yes.
J-Rock, what you got on that, man? Why do you think a lot of players want to play with a guy like Matt Ryan?
Ouch.
Rock.
Oh, my bad. What's up? What's going on? My bad. I'm over here. I'm reading everybody's comment. My bad.
That's the Twitch God, man. I told you, y'all need to go to Twitch, subscribe, follow. All right, and J-Rock for life, man. Check him out, man. If y'all like to play any types of games, J-Rock, go and explain what you do over there, man.
You see
y'all know I stream Monday through Thursday. I do a bunch of gaming. I'm a variety streamer. If you guys don't know, I play a bunch of stuff. I'm not, one man band in one game. I'm not trying to bash anybody that's in here though. I know people just play that one game. I play a whole bunch of games, but I think Tuesdays bring a lot of the comedian stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The Jackbox Party Tuesdays. I can definitely tune in for those every Tuesday. It's really fun. Y'all should just come by and just be a part. Even if y'all not really into the whole game thing, just come and chill. But yeah.
Hey, don't mind the thud. That's her moving the my legs. So don't mind that.
Hey, when she starts talking, it's a wrap, right?
Oh yeah, especially. So what you think about the Falcons season up? I guess she said that Falcons season was trash this past season.
She's like, we're not going to speak on that.
Then you heard her. She said, "Oh."
What was your question, Mike?
Why do you think players want to play for a guy like Matt Ryan? Just why would a Lee Smith what's the first thing when they look at Matt Ryan from an outsider, on the outside looking in? What do you think the players they first notice about a guy like Matt Ryan?
His poise for the game, and as far as him getting players like in a Hall of Fame and coaches getting jobs off of this man, like who wouldn't want to play in a system with Matt Ryan? You know what I'm saying? He got a lot of people, and he gets a lot of people involved when he can. Even though everybody bashed him saying, "Oh, he always just forces it to Julio Jones." I mean, he tries. Of course, that's always going to be everybody's number one look. Julio Jones, that's your best person on the field. So why not give the ball to him first? But as far as number 2 and number 3 options, I mean, he's going to have that now. And I really like what Arthur Smith put out prior to his hiring. He said he's going to try to fulfill Matt Ryan's best needs or his best or what he's good at. That's what I'm really curious about. So that's going to be very interesting because everybody knows. If you guys don't know what Matt Ryan's really good at, I mean, it's the play action game. We praise about it on here all the time. So if you're gonna get everything out of Matt Ryan as far as his needs, shoot, sign me up. because I think that's when you're going to really see the best Matt Ryan. It's when he's comfortable.
I don't mean to interrupt you, J-Rock. Say that again. What's Matt Ryan great at? Because farmer friend didn't understand that. You just said this man was great at play action. And how do you set up play action?
No, you're right. You're right. Everybody knows that, like, Matt Ryan, you're gonna get the best out of Matt Ryan when he's comfortable in an offense and he's running a bunch of play action. And as much as we bash Sarkisian started to figure it out. As much as we hate to say that, he started to figure it out. But we're not gonna get into all that. I think that the main person to blame is Dan Quinn, because everybody started to run away from Dan Quinn. So I think Dan Quinn was like the main issue into the whole thing because he wanted too much hands-on everything.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
I think he had a handful. I think his mind was too bobbled up in so much, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had too much on his plate. I think that's what really killed Dan Quinn for me. He had too much on his plate. As far as, like, yeah, we might have thought at the time, okay, he's a perfect candidate to be a head coach at the time, but like, are you really ready to have the responsibility to take care of this, that, and that? And I feel like at some point he panicked once that Super Bowl fallout, because you lose somebody like Shanahan, but was it really Shanahan getting the? I mean, of course, he probably got the higher job, but as far as like us losing so many people, like so many staff members, like, was it really Marquand Manuel's fault? No. Was it really Sarkisian's fault? No. But it's just like, you're the person that's behind everything and saying, okay, I'm hiring these people, I'm getting rid of these people. Because I think as much as Sarkisian got bashed and the whole getting drunk, college days or whatever, I think he started to figure it out. But I'm not even gonna get into all that. Everybody has their own opinion about Dan Quinn and what happened with that situation. I'm just putting out that, like, I don't think he was ready for like the head coaching. I do think he will do well with Dallas because he has just one specific role, which is defense. He doesn't have to do clock management and do this and do that. I think if he's solidified just to do one thing, I think Dan Quinn will fit fine.
But do you think that defense will be successful even with? Because remember, he still has the Legion of Boom tied to his name.
Oh yeah,
I think he will be successful because of what Dallas already has already. They were already fast and physical already, and then you're just adding Dan Quinn to the mix. Just Dan Quinn alone as a defensive coordinator, I think it will work.
Say that again. You said fast and physical.
Yes.
Oh,
physical.
Man.
But no, listen. When I say this though, this is Dallas defense was already like established already prior to Quinn. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Quinn. It's not like Quinn joining our team is like, okay, I want these guys, I want these guys, I want these guys, I want these guys. Right now, what he's doing right now is he's a defensive coordinator. He's just picking up our leftovers right now. I mean, he got Keanu Neal over there. These are just people that's okay. Let me just add this, add a little something because they already established on defense. They got the key players for defense. It's just putting it together. I think they're going to do well. Like that's something already established. Like he had to build our defense to be fast and physical. Is what I'm really trying to say.
Yeah, as long as you put some quotations there, just on that physical part.
Jude, what you got? I know you ready to say something. What you got, Jude?
No, I wanted to just piggyback on what J-Rock was saying. I agree with him because somebody asked me the same thing about Dan Quinn, how he's going to do in Dallas. I think he's actually going to do a little bit better because they're better in the trenches. Y'all know where I always start at. Let me see who you got in the trenches. And I feel like the guys that they have in the trenches, it's all about when you're coaching, you have to have talent, but you also have to be able to coach that talent. And to me, if you look at Dallas, Aldon Smith is a dog. Even as much as they get on Tank Lawrence, he's a dog. He's a guy that can shut down the run, and he's a guy that can get after the quarterback once you make a team one-dimensional. Well, I think Dallas' biggest problem is they have to address that nose tackle position, and they addressed it with bringing over a guy I forget his first name, but I know his last name is Urban. He played in Chicago, and that dude is big, 6'7", 300+ pounds.
I think it's Cam Urban.
I think it's like Trent. It's Urban, like
the D tackle. Yeah,
the DT. He wear like number 95 for the Chicago Bears, but he's a big dude, and they picked him up. So I feel like they're doing a good job of building up the trenches. And from what I'm hearing, they're going to move Keanu Neal to a linebacker spot because Jalen Smith got injured. He's been battling that nerve damage he had in his knees. So if you move a guy like Keanu Neal to like the inside linebacker position or even the will linebacker, and you have him flowing, and then you have those guys up front in the trenches like Alden Smith and Tank Lawrence and those guys, like they just have more talent, like this as far as in the trenches, and that's why I think they're gonna have more success. A guy like Randy Gregory, if he can stay off the weed, as Stephen A. Smith would say.
Let me do it right. I'm gonna do it like stay off the weed.
Duh. Yeah, exactly. Put the emphasis on the D.
Hey, how did Sean Witherspoon say rest in peace? Yeah, y'all been smoking them tweeds.
Yeah,
tweeds.
Yeah, man. But I just think that they have, like I was saying, they have in the trenches, they have more talent than we've had over the last couple years. Because we've had guys, they just didn't perform. Pat McKinley. And then we had guys we just didn't use. Because to me, last year, we didn't give guys like, what's the one guy we had got from Miami? We didn't use him a lot last year. Number 92. I keep forgetting his name because we didn't even use him.
Charles Harris.
Charles Harris. When he got in, he did his thing, but like he rarely saw the field. It's like for whatever reason they fell in love with Steven Means, and Jacob Tuioti-Mariner actually earned his minutes. But to me, it should have been rotating those guys. Because if you guys remember the year we went to the Super Bowl, I talked about this in a previous video on my channel. We had a rotation of guys in 2016. It wasn't until those injuries happened, because a lot of people forget. Claiborne didn't even play in the Super Bowl. I think he ruptured his Achilles. He got injured.
May have been a shoulder or something.
I know he got injured.
He got injured. Yeah, I know he got.
Yeah, he got injured. But we didn't have our rotation in the Super Bowl. So those guys early in the Super Bowl, we were getting pressure on Brady, but after a while they wore down. But you have to have that rotation. Like my new saying for the trenches is strength in number. You need a bunch of guys. Forget one guy that can get 10 sacks or one guy that can get you 15 sacks. How about you got 5 different guys that can give you 5 to 6 sacks? You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to be looking at. Because with Tampa, they got Shaq Barrett, they got JPP, they got Vita Vea, they got Adamakin Suh. I mean, they got so many guys. They got Ghostin. They got so many guys on that defensive line that they can rotate in and out. It was the same way that Super Bowl year. We had glue guys. Brooks Reed, he was a guy that went overlooked. He was a guy that can come in and get you a sack at the end of the game. And you know that it's a passing situation. Vic Beasley that year was doing this thing. We had a guy that we got, Courtney Upshaw from the Ravens, Jonathan Babineau. Like we had guys, Rasheed Hageman. We had a rotation of guys. Yeah, man, but we don't have that no more. Like the last couple years, it's like we're gonna rely on Vic Beasley and Pat McKinley. They need to get the double-digit sack instead of having a gang of guys that can come in and do their thing. So that's why I like the pickups that we're doing, like the Barkevious Mingo signings, the Copeland signings. We're like, man, these guys are nobodies. But if those guys can give us 2 to 3 to 5 sacks, and we get about 5 guys that we can rotate in and out that do that on a game in, game out basis, and we keep Grady Jarrett and those guys fresh, bruh, we'll have something on our hands. Go ahead, J-Rock.
I pulled a K Styles. So just like Zach just put in his chat, and just then we have signed Fabian Mariaru, or I don't know how to pronounce it, but I know exactly who that is.
Oh, Maru
Monroe.
Yeah,
Monroe.
It's like a yay and nay. I like him. But then again, I don't know where he's gonna fit. He might be our number 2. He may be our slot. I don't know. What do y'all feel about this?
He might be the dime corner.
Hey.
He'll probably be the one. Like they'll probably use Isaiah Oliver more so as the blitzing corner, since he has the size. But I think Fabian Moore will probably be that dime corner.
I think this what this says. I think this is exactly what it says. Like they aren't trying. Like I think Isaiah Oliver would be a candidate for that free safety spot.
Could be.
You don't bring in a guy with experience and have him just be the dime. Like he's going to be a dime corner. I think Isaiah Oliver is going to be a candidate for that safety spot. Either it's strong safety, he'll have to gain a few more pounds to play strong, but he can play that free safety, and he can come down and play that slot as well. Because, like I said before, when you look at his ability and what he likes to do, and Dean Pease, his ability is being more physical. He's a physical corner. He's not one of those guys who's just gonna, just rely on his athleticism like AJ Terrell. He is a physical corner, so he's going to allow him to do that. So he's going to be in positions where he's going to hit people. And it's two things for me that I think you're going to put Isaiah Oliver. You're going to put him at that free safety position where I know he can play that two-man corner, that two-man safety spot and zone. So he just have that one side of the field, and it's two things. The second one is being that blitzer that they was talking about, coming out the corner, being able to tackle, because this dude is a tackling machine. Like this dude would hit tight ends, running backs. Like he was going head up with running backs. That man is not afraid to tackle. So I think he's going to be more physical. I think he's going to be one of those X factors for Dean Pease on the defense, where he's just going to use him in any type of way. He's going to be that X-Man. He's going to do everything. He's going to be able to do everything. He might be that Jean Grey where he's just going to, no, not Jean Grey, but a Rogue, where he's just going to steal everybody's powers. He's going to be a cover guy. He's going to be a safety. He's going to be a blitzer. He's going to come off the ears. Like, he's going to do everything. I think that's what he's going to be.
Yeah, that he's pretty fast too. I remember him coming out the draft. He ran like a 4.3 or something like that. He's really fast. One thing I do like about this signing, he's still young. He's like 25, 26 still.
Oh, wow.
So he has plenty of room to still develop. I mean, he's been with Washington his whole career, but I feel like he may thrive a little bit more with us, even though he was like their number 2, because they lost what's his name? He went off to Seattle. I can't think of his freaking name, but it was like before Norman got there. It was Fabian and
they had Breland for a while too. They had Rashard Breland for a while too. That went to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. Oh, Quentin Dunbar. Quentin Dunbar.
There
That
you
was
go.
another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he'll do fine. I'm just trying to picture where he would fit. Would he be our number 2 or what?
But like I said, the way that this signing is, this is basic textbook Terry Fontenot mentality. Like you said, you get a bunch of veterans for 1 year deals. Let them play them out. Do.
And you don't know what they're gonna do. They could play a big role, and everybody keep counting out. Like, I know he hasn't played well, but everybody keep counting out Sheffield. We don't know what Sheffield is. We don't know what Sheffield is. It's almost like that counting out Kaminsky. They're counting out Marlon Davidson. Like, we got to go out and get all these big free these names. And then, like I said, I don't doubt or don't want to discredit the idea of poo-poo the idea of going out and getting a guy like Jadeveon Clowney, because obviously he wants to be here. But like, we don't know what Jim Kaminsky is. We don't know what Davidson and Sonata is. Sonata's still on the team. You know what I'm saying? So the Falcons have plenty of guys, and they're with a veteran coach. This guy has been around. He knows how to get the best out of each player. And man, it's going to be interesting, man. It's definitely going to be interesting.
That he's building the depth. Like I said, that's the main thing.
Hey, Mike, I'm glad you said his name, man. I was just about to bring him up. We in the same vein. Jadeveon Clowney. I was getting ready to make a video on him. Y'all realize he had 0 sacks last year with Tennessee? 0.
Ooh, 0.
Tennessee only had as a team 14 sacks last year.
Exactly.
They were worse than us.
But
Which I
that's
think possible.
How the hell
my
that man
point.
got a job? Good God.
0 sacks. That's what I'm saying. Like, we want all these splash names. He was worse than Steven Means. He was worse than Jacob Tuioti Mariner, John Kaminsky. Y'all want to pay this man, and this man had 0 sacks last year.
He was worse than McKinley.
Exactly. We ready to run Dante Fowler out of town because he had 3 sacks on the season, and y'all want Jadeveon Clowney just because he was a number 1 pick. This man had 0 sacks last year. 0. This man had no impact. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, don't just look at names. Like, go do your research because you never know. Like, Jadeveon Clowney's been injury prone. Like, I like Jadeveon Clowney. I think he has upside, but if he wants the bag, this dude hasn't done anything. Like, he hasn't even had a season with 10 sacks. He must be related to Tat McKinley. Y'all said the right name because he ain't did nothing, dog. He ain't did nothing. But talk about, I want to go to this team. I want to go to that team. Like, you can come play for the Falcons on the vet minimum. Like, we'll take you. I mean,
you got him. But Barkevius Mingo had 2.5 sacks, yeah, so he had more than him. Good gosh.
And and Mingo didn't play all the snaps.
Exactly.
Which was a theme for the Falcons last year because, remember, Bleedy Ray Wilson led the team in interceptions and only played 4 games.
Wow.
Yeah.
Charles Harris was a half a sack away from leading his team in sacks. We only seen him for 5 games.
Yep.
But like I said, I like what they're doing here with the depth. They, like I said, they're doing it the right way. They're using free agency to build the depth of the team.
And they're not paying a lot of money. They're really not giving out a lot of money. And that's the best thing that I like about this.
Right.
And that's where we all talk about. We think we're gonna just splash in the free agency, which we have to, because we got to do these 1-year deals. I know a lot of people's like, oh, why 1-year deals? And but they making it work. You know what I'm saying? They're making it work.
Mm-hmm. See, but by them building this depth up in free agency with these players, and like I said, these ain't no scrubs they're getting. They're just not big name guys, but these are guys that can give you a little production here and there. See, now, as I was saying, that now the draft can be a luxury now. They can still get the players they want.
And you can go out and take a chance on a guy like Pitts early. Wow. Yeah. That's interesting.
They doing what they said, man. Terry Fontenot said, what do you say? We're gonna address in the free agency, we're gonna address our needs. So in the draft, we can go get the players we want.
Right.
And he doing just what he said. Like, I don't think a lot of people are looking at either. They're getting players that fit Dean Pease' scheme, like Mike was saying. Like, we're looking like Fabian Monroe. They're watching tape on these guys, and they're looking like, is this guy a man corner or zone corner? Dean Pease knows what he wants to do best. Of course, he's not going to tell us, I'm going to run mainly zone or I'm going to run mainly man. But he's looking at these guys' tape and basing it off of that. We've seen players like Nnamdi Asomugha get all of that money. He was playing with Oakland. And he tried to go to the Eagles where they play strictly man, and he was a zone corner. And that's why I keep telling people to be careful.
That's his favorite player.
Another thing about Nnamdi didn't really check anybody in that division.
Yeah, man. Even like a guy like Josh Norman. We talked about him earlier with the Panthers. When he was with the Panthers, he would give us headaches because they played a certain scheme. They played that zone scheme, and they had great linebackers. Exactly. Luke Kuechly,
that front seven was nasty.
That front seven was nasty. So what that mean was Josh Norman could jump routes. He would get so many pick sixes off just jumping routes. But when he went over to Washington and had to play man, he was getting toasted. They paid him the bag, and he didn't never look the same. He was a Pro Bowler, went there, and his whole career went down the drain. That dude had been on about 3 different teams. I think he played for Buffalo now. But it just goes to show you they're going out and getting players that will fit in this scheme because Dean Pease knows what he's going to do with these in particular players. He knows what they do best, and he's going to use that. Because we're looking like Barkevius Mingo. Okay, what he going to do with him? But he might use him in some type of blitz package. Special teams, like we don't really know, but they know exactly what they're doing. So I trust I'm trusting the process. I trust what they're doing because a lot of these guys, Dean Pease has some background with these guys. He knows, okay, this guy will fit my system. I've seen Fabian Monroe play. He's a decent corner. I don't think he's nothing to, drive home about. Like, he's not going to be no Pro Bowl corner, but I do think he's solid. And I think from the tape that they've seen, because I seen somebody said in the chat earlier, that might mean that Darqueze Dennard might not be coming back because they're going out and getting guys that they feel like will fit. Because I was thinking we should bring back a guy like Darqueze Dennard because he played well last year. But I think they're looking at he might not fit their scheme.
He had some injury issues last year also. So he played well, but he had injury issues. And we know what the Falcons have kind of, if you look at the players that they've signed, a lot of these guys are like they're not bringing back a lot of guys, and they're not signing guys who had long injury issues.
And like I said, the Eric Harris one, that may be one of the more underrated ones because people forget this guy was a linebacker too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you know his story, he worked at UPS. We know how bullshit that job is. and I'll be damned if I'm going back. But yeah, like I said, he was a linebacker too. You talking about converting a linebacker to free safety, so he gonna hit your ass now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like you said, you're building the depth. That's the main thing, and that's been the main problem for this Falcon team for the last 5, 6, 7 years is depth.
Yep.
Let's go to a question I want. I got a question for you guys for this, and it's kind of a little bit of a turn, but Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitrov, we know both of those guys. When you look at how they tried to build the team, and we kind of went into Tack McKinley, we went into Vic Beasley, and you look at the lack of depth. You look at the picks that they brought in. This guy, they signed a guy like Dontari Poe. He came in, did a good job, but then next thing you know, these guys, they didn't re-sign these guys. Do you think that there was like a competition amongst those guys where they tried to one up each other? Because the reason why I say that, because you got guys like Dean Sinat who, Dan Quinn. It looks like a perfect Dan Quinn guy. But for whatever reason, he never got to play. You got Quadri Olison. He played well in short yardage situation. But for whatever reason, he never got to play. You look at guys like Jaden Graham, who, he had flashes, whether it's in the preseason, even during the games, he had flashes of where he can be a pretty good receiver. You look at guys like Zacchaeus. All these guys had flashes where you see that they could do things. Even Kaminsky. You got guys on defense side of the ball. A lot of these guys had flashes, but for whatever reason, we never saw a lot of them. Do you think there was like a one-upmanship where, well, you didn't play my guy, you didn't draft my guy, you didn't sign my guy, so I'm not going to play your guy? Do you think there was like a one-upmanship between those two guys that kind of caused the Falcons, the team? Because it kind of goes into that accountability. And here, J-Rock. J-Rock, what you got, man?
It's funny. I wasn't really actually thinking about that, but you kind of like opened my mind up a little bit, because if you think about it, like let's go back to us drafting, right? We really didn't need a Calvin Ridley, but we went and got one anyway. So in a way, I kind of seeing it like this. Now that you said that, like, yeah, we'll go out and get Dontari Poe. He does well, and then he's up and gone. Adrian Claiborne, got him. Did amazing against the Cowboys, up and gone. I feel like Dan Quinn and Dimitrov were with each other, but they wasn't actually with each other because the beans has been spilled once they got fired. Dimitrov was spending money on offense, but Dan Quinn wanted defense. So it's kind of like y'all were half-assing stuff. So like what Dan Quinn wanted, y'all were going cheap about it, and Dimitrov was like, "Nah, we should definitely just focus on the offense. Like we can still get this player or get somebody that's close, but we'll kind of like half do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you go get Poe. Poe does well. He's gone. Claiborne up and gone. Who's another player that like was really up and gone, but we spent like cheap on?
Brian Poole. Brian Poole should have never left this team.
Yeah.
Brian Poole.
Brian Poole was that guy. Never left.
Yeah, that was Dan Quinn guy right there.
It was almost like a flip flop. Like, yeah, you can say it was almost like a competition in a way, but it was like Dan Quinn will get his players that he wants, but it was on some cheap stuff because Dimitrov want to be so on with the offense. Like, you know, he was so offensive loaded. He didn't really care about the defense. I think that's why he brought Dan Quinn in to actually get the idea, the personnel. It's all in the mind. So it's like we'll spend cheap. So I think now that you put that out there, I think it kind of was a competition. They were kind of half-assing it, both of them. So that's why I see why the firing makes sense now that it's out there, because it's like none of this stuff made sense. It's like, why would you bring back Tack? And look, Tack is gone now, so that bit us in the ass now. It's the same thing with Vic. Like, what are we really doing? Like, the idea is there, but it's like you giving it. It was too many chances. It's like, you know, it's people come and gone. We got to cut that mindset. Like, giving people cheap deals and come and go, and then having Dimitrov spend so much money on offense when that's really not the issue. So I agree with that. I'll say it's more like a competition.
Damn, you kind of that question. That's kind of a deep question right there.
It was really deep.
But like I said, my opinion on it, like you said, it was the egos. Like I said, both of them had egos like hell, because basically they was basing their decisions based off of the reputation they had when they got hired. Dimitrov was bringing coffee for Bill Belichick, so he thought he had the New England pedigree.
Right.
Dan Quinn was building off the Legion of Boom pedigree and thought he could do it there. Yeah, man, it was like I said. This is one of those cases where I feel where we AFN and we've always said, if your coaches and your GM is not on the same page, there's going to be no consistency with this team whatsoever. Because like you said, look at the draft picks going all the way to 2015. Outside of Grady, and like I said, the Calvin Ridley one did kind of boggle my mind though too, because
I did. I so did not want him. I did not. I did not. I was so against that pick. Like I'm so against it, and we did not need that.
Yeah, that one kind of boggled me because I like, you already have an offensive juggernaut, but your defense is still lacking.
Yeah, that made no sense.
But in reality of it, like you said, it was just two guys that wanted all the credit for the Falcons' success, and neither one of them did it. That's why Dan Quinn threw all the other coaches under the bus. Like you said with the Sarkisian, the Marquand Manuel. Like you said, he threw all them under the bus.
Even go back to Richard Smith. Like Richard Smith was like that was an odd firing. I didn't think I really don't. When you look back at that Richard Smith, I don't know why he really got fired, to be honest, because we weren't that great to begin with, but we weren't that bad, and they just up and fired him.
Right. And that's kind of what happened going into this past season. Was Dan Quinn wanted to take the defense over last season. The defense played like shit. So he like, I'm a bad back. I'm gonna let these guys do it. Defense started playing better. Went on ahead and took over again. Like I said, he was gonna let them have a little bit of power, but he didn't want them to have too much power because if the coordinators was coordinating the defense the way that it was going, it was gonna make him look expendable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you said, Thomas Dimitrov, like I said, his draft picks, and like I said, and this is kind of sad from a guy who has a background in scouting. I named him before. Like I said, Thomas Dimitrov's whole resume is the scouting department. So that means you have to look at these players and who fit what. And most of your draft picks ain't hit worth a damn. Like I said, Dimitrov been with this organization since 2008, 2009.
2009, yep.
Outside of Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Grady Jarrett, AJ Terrell, like I said, Devontae Freeman, Deion Jones. Like I said, you think about it, that's almost 7 draft picks a year in almost 12 years. That's almost 80-something damn picks, and he only hit at least about 15 or 20 of them.
And majority of them are on offense.
Right.
Wow.
Think about that. Think about that. He had potentially almost 80 draft picks and only hit on 1/4 of them. That's 12 years. That's between 15 to 20 draft picks that he done hit on that was consistent. Not know, okay, he was good one year, then the rest of the years was like whatever. So, like you said, you have two ideologies that want to be the face of the team. See, in reality, Dan Quinn and Tom Dimitrov both really wanted to be the faces of this franchise. That's really what it was. And it blew up in both of their face. Hell, they both got fired the same damn day. So that lets you know your chances wasn't doing nothing.
Yeah, you're right.
And if memory serves me right, if you know you drafting defensive players, you have a defensive guru in your backyard that you could pay a little more side, help getting these guys up. We can get them better. And yes, I'm talking about Chuck Smith.
Yeah.
The pass rush guru. The Ace Kumba.
And you go back to what Chuck said, he kind of out. They pretty much just outcast him. Like he like before that, like he was one of those guys that the Falcons would bring into camp to work with the defensive line. And all of a sudden they kind of just said, Chuck, we don't want you here anymore. Right. And that was like I don't want to put words in the mouth. We'll probably ask him again. Or we'll probably just re-air the interview, but he pretty much stated like he thought Dan Quinn was a good coach, but they kind of pushed him out the door. They didn't want Chuck Smith to come there and teach these guys because he felt like if Chuck was the reason why they, the reason why they had a turnaround, then everybody would look at Dan Quinn as like, okay, Dan Quinn really ain't the guy. Maybe it is Chuck Smith. So it kind of makes sense, and I'm gonna say this too. It makes sense. A lot of stuff just makes sense right now. Good God, man, why'd I had to bring that up? Jesus Christ! It reminds me when Brian Cox, the defensive line they did pretty good under Brian Cox, man. And I don't know if you heard the question, Ju, but I pretty much stated that. Do you think there was like a one-upmanship as far as Thomas Dimitrov and Dan Quinn, as far as like the draft picks, the players that they wanted to play, and they kind of didn't play these guys because like he didn't get his guy, his real guy, and the guy that they wanted in draft or free agency? Do you think there was kind of a one-upmanship as far as those guys are concerned?
I definitely do. I think it was a power struggle. I think that's the reason why when they hired Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith, if y'all remember when Arthur Blank and Rich McKay sat down when they did the first initial interview with the media prior to hiring the new GM and head coach, like right after the season, they talked about it's going to be basically we're going to try to build continuity. Like the GM and the coach are going to have to work together. No one's going to have all the power. And I really feel like there was a power struggle between TD and between Dan Quinn. And I also think that their egos kind of got in the way. And Dan Quinn kind of scapegoated some coaches. Like I think Marquand Manuel got scapegoated. And I think Steve Sarkisian got scapegoated because he was trying to keep his job. But one thing I love about this new regime, and you've heard Arthur Smith talk about it, we don't want no yes men. Like he doesn't want to be the smartest guy in the room. And I think Dan Quinn kind of let that Seattle Seahawks Legion of Boom get him in trouble because everybody was giving him all the credit for the success that Seattle had. And they're like, he's going to bring that to Atlanta. But what he should have said was, no, I got a lot of great coaches around me. Because to be honest, initially, I feel like our original coaching staff, Dan Quinn's original coaching staff, was a great staff. Y'all talked about it. Brian Cox was a great coach, like assistant coach. Jeff Albrecht and those guys were great on the staff. As the running the offense, Kyle Shanahan, like him grabbing all of the guys he grabbed initially, we had a great coaching staff. But what happened is everybody started to get an ego, and he wanted to look like Dan Quinn wanted to look like the smartest guy in the room. TD wanted to look like the smartest guy in the room, and it basically was division. And we know where there's division, a house can't stand with division. Like everybody has to be together. Once you create that divide in the locker room, you could just see the players. Like we talked about it when we started 0-5, they just stopped believing. Like it basically like they chose sides. Like nobody believed in what Dan Quinn, or maybe they were all against Thomas Dimitroff. We don't know because we kept hearing them saying we're behind Dan Quinn, we're behind Dan Quinn. But you can just see the locker room was divided, like it wasn't together. And that was the biggest issue. I feel like early on, Dan Quinn, he had the right guys around him. He didn't have yes man. We know Kyle Shanahan, he gonna do what he want to do. We've seen that in the Super Bowl. He gonna do what he want to do. Twice. He gonna do what he want to do, dog. Kyle Shanahan is no yes man, dog. So it's like we had guys, even Brian Cox. Like Brian Cox is one of those guys. If you don't do your job, he gonna curse you out. That's why him and Big Beasley butted heads. And he was all over a guy like Rashid Hageman. That's why they kind of butted heads. But that's what you need. You need coaches. You need those different personalities. We talk about it all the time with our team here at AFN. Like you need those multiple personalities. You can't just be all one way. And I really feel like that's what messed up. Once all of those coaches that he originally had kind of split, he had a bunch of yes men after that. And that's really what caused the team to basically nosedive. Because basically at that point, like you heard Mike say it on his last show, nobody would speak up. Everybody was scared to speak out. You didn't hear nobody speak out and say something against the coach. Everybody was just like, we're behind Dan Quinn, we're united front. But you never heard nobody say like, we need to start running this soft zone coverage, or I'm sick of this. And it was a reason why Julio Jones looked at Dan Quinn the way he looked at him on the sideline. It was a reason why that man looked at him like, bruh. He was pissed off.
What about your damn defense? You need to get your damn defense together. Julio gave him a look of death, bro.
Exactly. So I definitely think it was a power struggle. There's no question about it. We seen it was the demise. Egos can ruin a team, and it basically ruined the Falcons.
I want to touch on
something. I'm always raising my hand because I always got something to say.
Hey, can I touch on it? Well, no, I'll let you go and I'll touch on it. Go ahead.
If y'all didn't see it, but if Julio Jones is coaching your defensive players to get back into the game,
oh my God,
that's a problem. And here's another thing. Remember the year before this past season when Devonta Freeman got Hulk jacked up by Aaron Donald and nobody came to his rescue?
Everybody just watched.
They waited until about damn 20 20 Rams was around that man before they decided they want to come.
Yeah. I remember that.
Man. If that ain't division, I don't know what is, dog. If that ain't division, I don't know what is.
Dude, it like I said, and I'm gonna say this again, it looked like the real housewives of the Atlanta Falcons out there. That's how this organization was ran. It was a reality TV show.
No, you're right. It was always something new.
Exactly. You got GM and the coaches goddamn got a power struggle. The players don't like this motherfucker. The coaches don't like these guys. The fans looking at them all crazy like, really? We seeing all this on TV and everybody is seeing it. You can look at the sideline of each of those games. It was like the team didn't look together.
They really didn't.
And I think what happened was they was looking for the leadership from Dan Quinn. But like we said before, Dan Quinn was living off the reputation of the Legion of Boom, which was put together by Pete Carroll. It was just said in this chat. And Thomas Dimitrov was living off the reputation that he was part of the Patriots dynasty, which he was holding coffee to Bill Belichick. I'm telling you, I win.
He was warming up coffee for Robert Kraft. That's what he was bringing the coffee in the
Robert Kraft and Donald Trump and all them boys was in that damn press box. Like, oh shit! Thank you, Thomas.
So I seen this one from Chris Dunlap. Is what I was saying before. You know, Dan Quinn joining to the Cowboys. That team is already established already. So when Dan Quinn came over to Seattle, they were already established already. They already had Sherman. They already had Cam Chancellor, Alan Branch, and all those guys. They were already established. Just adding Dan Quinn to the mix just makes it even better because he's a defensive mind. That's why I was saying him going to the Cowboys is going to be a smooth, ride for him because they already have something established. Dan Quinn adding to the mix just makes it even more better for them. It's almost like bread and butter when what's his name? Wade Phillips was there with the Cowboys. It's going to be the same situation.
See, the only difference that he's going to have this time is that Cowboy defense was actually just as bad as ours. So
but they also took the bad route too of hiring fucking what is it, Mike Nolan?
Oh Lord.
He was with us too.
Oh boy.
It ain't gonna get no better. It ain't gonna get better. They're gonna run the Suki Hana OnlyFans defense there too. And the Cowboys fans are gonna be pissed. And we just gonna look back and like, hey, we ain't got $9.99 for OnlyFans, so y'all can have it.
Wow.
But yeah, that's all I'm trying to say. If he goes to defense is already established, unlike us, we wasn't established on defense. We were just so it was lopsided. We were always offense heavy. Adding Dan Quinn to the mix, we were so excited because it was like, oh snap, we got a defensive minded somebody. Maybe he can change the defense around. I'm gonna do K Styles, so called.
Exactly. But we just came from a coach that was defensive minded too. So right.
I think the head, like I said, the head coaching thing just got their head bobbled up. I think if they're not a head coach, then yeah, if they're just a defense coordinator, then yeah, we can actually do something. But when their hands are tied to like everything, clock management, this hiring this player, hiring this people, hiring this staff, then their mind is not just one thing, it's everything. It's the whole team now. He has a bigger job than just defense. So I think that's what I meant by like Dan Quinn. He had his hands was too full. He couldn't handle it.
Yeah,
let's be honest. The only reason they hired Dan Quinn because he looked like Stone Cold Steve Austin at the time, and everybody had the jokes
he
for
looked like a tough guy.
Oh my gosh, not Stone Cold.
And he ended up looking like Gilbert after the Super Bowl. let's be honest. Everybody had their beers cracked and ready to go. Like, oh shit, Dan Quinn. Hell yeah. No, they didn't work for him.
Dang.
I think you had to laugh on that one. I think you had to get off.
That's funny. But no, that's all I really got to say about Dan Quinn. I think he'll do well in Dallas. Wish him the most luck over there, but I think he will improve. But we're going to see when we play them this season.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out, boy, because that's second game.
Let's get in this 2-point, man, where everybody get a that last let's just get in these last thoughts. You want to go, K-Styles?
I'm gonna let J-Rod hit this one first. Because I gotta think about what the hell I'm gonna say.
All right, hey, you put me right on the spot. I'm thinking myself.
Okay, I'm gonna go like this. I know I came in a little late than everybody did, so appreciate y'all tuning in, dealing with our crazy shit. I know I'm not right all the time, but I don't give a damn. They always say the smartest guy is not afraid to be wrong.
Right.
But my 2-point conversion, where am I gonna go with this? Patience. When I say patience is y'all looking at like I said, there's a contingent of the Falcon media that has already done poo-pooed on this season already just because of how they attack this free agency right now. There's a lot of them. We all see them on Twitter. Y'all listen to 92.9 The Game and all them folks in here talking all that mess like that. Everybody talking about we're going to boycott the season if they don't draft a quarterback with the 4th overall pick. What do you want? Do you want to win now? Or do you want to wait 5 more years to try to build a team to win? Especially when you already have a team that just needs pieces to get over the hump. Now, I remember y'all saying about Kyle Pitts and how that would be deadly quadruplet of receivers and scoring 40 points a game and stuff like that. I don't give a damn about scoring 40 points a game. I want my defense to give up less than 19 a game.
Right.
That's what I want to see. Like I said, we was at our best potential right now, even with the offense we had last season. Our best potential was around 28 points a game. We need our defense less than 20. Like I said, it might not be this year, but within this year and next year, I need my defense to give up less than 20 points a game. I need my red zone efficiency to be near the top 5 of the league. I need to be in top 5 in turnovers. I need to be at least top 15 in sacks. Like I said, the time for pretty football is over. I've said this plenty of times. The quote, "Rise up" is dead. We don't need to rise up.
Brotherhood is dead too.
The damn ball. What run the damn ball means is get tough in the trenches. Antonio Rakestraw saying y'all more Raven fans than Falcon fans. I don't understand what that means.
I don't know what that means.
I guess he's saying we want more of the physicality as far as the team. So yes, we need physicality because we have like what Mike said, we have been Instagram models for far too long.
Way too long. Way too dang long.
And Stone Decatur said brotherhood is dead too.
Brotherhood is dead.
That's been dead.
The new slogan for that is not just run the damn ball, but do your damn job.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the new 2 slogans for the Falcons this year. Run the damn ball and do your damn job. And like I said, just make sure you follow the Just K Styles channel. Like I said, 780 subscribers away from 1,000. So we doing it one day
we gonna get there.
One day at a time, baby.
One day at a time. But at the end of the day, I still have fun talking to everybody on here, talking football, talking sports, whatever. So I'm gonna end mine with that one. I could have went political on this one, but I said I'm gonna say that for another day because these folks really don't want to know what goes on in my
head. That's why they gotta go to Just K Styles.
Wow. All right. Anybody else? Who I'm gonna pass the route to? Who ready for the route?
Hey man, I'll throw that thing. I'll take it.
I'm gonna give you that Patrick Mahomes NFL street style.
Hey man, just make sure I'm looking so it don't hit me in the hip this time. Hey man, I'll say this. A lot of Falcons fans, it's like a lot of people, just by a lot of your comments, where you're talking about quarterbacks and whatnot, a lot of people just don't understand. Like I can tell a lot of you have not been fans of football for long, just based on your idea of wanting to draft a quarterback. Anybody who's ever anybody who is a fan of the game, no quarterbacks are hard to come by. And when you get a quarterback, you want to keep him as long as you possibly can, especially if he's still one of the top quarterbacks. You want to keep this guy as long as you possibly can. So every time I hear somebody say a guy is 35, and then you turn around and say Tom Brady is the GOAT, it's like, I want to slap the living shit out of you just for that right there alone. I really want to slap the living shit out of y'all for saying we need to start looking to the future. And then on the same hand, y'all call Tom Brady the fucking GOAT when he's goddamn he's damn near half a fucking century year old. He's half a fucking century. He's almost half a freaking century years old. And you talk about Matt Ryan is 35. Make it make sense, Falcons fans. He old as shit, and you talking about Matt Ryan, who's 15 years younger than him. 10 years, almost 15 years younger than Tom Brady. But you talking about we need to start looking to the future because Matt Ryan old. And then call Drew Brees. Y'all said that Drew Brees can still play. Y'all said goddamn Tom Brady can still play. Y'all still want Tom Brady to go. Y'all still praise the hell out of Tom Brady and then say Matt Ryan too damn old. Make it make fucking sense. Make it make some fucking sense, people. It doesn't make sense. That's my 2-point conversion. Make it make fucking sense. That's it. That's all I want to do. That's the new slogan at AFN for right now. Make it make sense, people. Damn.
Damn. Oh my goodness. Man, you got about too many rants out of the same 2-point conversion.
All right, man. I need to just have a session, just Mad Mike rants. For now on, that's what it's gonna be. From now, I'm a Mad Mike rants. So stay tuned for the Mad Mike rants. You're gonna get more rants, okay? Y'all want more rants? Damn, you got it.
And like I said, that was a little tad bit rant. I don't think anybody's ever really seen me go off like that. Yeah, I had to get that off my chest. All right. J-Rock.
Make sure y'all subscribe, like AFN if y'all want more Mad Mike rants. That's simple. I ain't got nothing to say.
Hey man, check us out on Twitch, man. Please just check us out on Twitch, man.
Yeah, make sure you guys follow Twitch. We're trying to get the 50 followers.
We need 50, about 24 more, right? We need like 24 people to get us to 50 followers over there. So head up to AFN, Atlanta Falcons Nation on Twitch, man. Hey, you can find our content. We got our content there too, man. We're gonna start doing some interesting things there also. So check us out, Atlanta Falcons Nation on Twitter, man. Twitch. Man, we got a lot of stuff coming for you guys, man. So check us out there, man. J-Rock for Life and Atlanta Falcons Nation. Check us out on Twitch.
And let me say one more thing.
Okay.
One more thing. You think a quarterback is going to change the culture? Your ass is delusional. The culture is changed in the trenches. Fuck that. I want to be feared. The Falcons need to be fucking feared. You see, I put the double F's in there, right?
We're fucking feared. Okay.
Fucking feared. See, we got 3 catchphrases now for the Falcons. So ain't no more yes men. Like I said, rise up, brotherhood. Samuel Jackson with the choir and stuff out there. No. Fuck that. We don't need choirs no more. Choirs ain't got us nowhere.
No choirs.
We need guys that's gonna punch somebody in the face. We need the Mike Tyson mentality. We don't need glass jaw Joe mentality. We don't need that no more. All right, I'm done.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
I'm done.
All right. Again, man, go check out Miss Maggie T. Her show is tonight. You do not want to miss Let's Exchange. You will. I actually prefer you guys to go to Let's Exchange. Help her get the 500. All right, trying to get her to 500. So Let's Exchange tonight. They have a special episode.
18 and up, please. 18 and up.
18 and up. Oh, forgot. We got to throw that in. 18 and up. 18 and up. So please, they're gonna have a really good one. I think a lot of people enjoy this. This one's gonna be. I think this is gonna be one of the best ones because this shit is spicy, bro. Like
you saw last week with the Zodiacs was great.
Oh boy. Oh boy. You might get a special appearance. I'm just gonna leave that.
You might get a special appearance from myself, K-Style. Hey, you might even see J-Rock in that thing. So, hey, man, look, it's going to be lit tonight. Trust me, it's going to be lit tonight. So, go ahead. Right after after we end this, please go over to Let's Exchange and check out Let's Exchange, man. It's going to be an interesting topic, man. With that being said, man. K-Style, you want to give us the honors of telling them what to do?
You ain't got to go home, but
you got to get the hell out of here. That's it, boy.